formatting a page. Here we can see we're on the prawn cocktail page of the starters section. It's possible to go in and format this page by changing, for example, its background colour, providing lines on the page so it looks more like a notebook, and we can also do things like change the page size or delete the title at the top of the page as well. To look at these settings, we need to change the tab that we're on, so I'm going to go to the View tab. Double-clicking on the View tab will lock the ribbon so that we can see the settings that we're talking about. Within this tab, you'll see a Page Setup group, and the first thing in this group is Page Colour. Clicking on Page Colour, I can choose one of these options, and automatically the background of the page will change. So clicking again, I can choose a page colour and the background of the page will change. This is only making changes to the page that you're currently on. So for example, if I go to one of my other pages, you'll see that the background colour hasn't changed on this page. Returning to the prawn cocktail page, I can now look at the next setting, which is called Rule Lines. So this allows me to add lines or a grid to the background of the page. Here we have the different line settings that I can choose from, and as I click through them there, you'll see the difference in those settings. Also in here we have grid line options, so you could apply a type of grid to the background of the page as well. If you choose a rule line option, you can go in here also and change the rule line colour. Currently they're in light blue, but for example I could have them coming in red or green or whichever colour I prefer. Also in here there's always create pages with rule lines, so turning this on would mean that that would be the case for all pages that you create. The next option at the top here is the Hide Page Title. Here at the beginning of my page I have a page title with the date and the time. If I click Hide Page Title, it will delete or remove this from the top of the page. If I click Yes here, it deletes the title, the date and the time from here, and it also returns the name of the page back to untitled page. So for example, if I click Yes, the title disappears, so too does the name of the page over here. You can rename this page by right-clicking on it and giving the page a name from here. But you'll notice that by doing so, it goes and puts the title back in here on the left-hand side. Normally, we would leave the title visible on screen. Finally then, in this page setup group is the paper size. Clicking on this opens up a panel and I can see that currently the size of the page is auto. Clicking on the drop-down arrow here, I could, for example, change it to an A4 page so I know what it's going to look like when it prints. I can change the orientation from portrait to landscape and so on down through the different options, including changing the print margins as well. Once you've made your changes here, you can simply click on the X to close that panel down. Now on screen, I get to see what it would look like as an A4 page. So these are the different ways that we can format the page within the page setup group.